Okay. Cool.
Check.
Cash.
Saying there's no sound. There's no sound coming up.
Oh, wow. That's how you test it.
Check. Yeah, there's just a little bit of a delay. I just turned down the sound there,
Okay.
and then put it on all messages, and then we're good to go.
Hilarious. I didn't know. I tried fucking finding your podcast, and
Can you find it?
if I search for it, it pops up. But if I go to your channel, nothing. It's like a ghost.
Oh, on YouTube? Because
Yeah.
most of it's not on YouTube. I only, because I do solo podcasts, I only do guests on YouTube. I need to figure that all out because I was almost banned on YouTube for a while.
For fucking what?
Just for talking about shit, I guess. I got medical misinformation for like COVID talk and
Are
like,
you fucking
and it was
serious?
crazy because it was banning me for shit. And I had episodes from 2021 that I was getting in trouble for in 2023. So then I just took it off of YouTube.
But like, if I search like Ali USA or USA podcast, they will pop up. I found like 5 episodes.
Really?
And then if I go to
Oh
your,
yeah, because from some of the guests for sure.
but if, that makes sense.
Yeah,
From
yeah.
their channels, but it's all linked to whatever. I
All
don't
right, I'm
understand
gonna
it.
hit record. All right, we are officially live with the one and only Michael, the breathing fire breathing dragon, right?
Yes, yeah.
You said you had that nickname as a kid, right?
Sure, yeah, we'll go with that.
Or how to Train My Dragon remake. I saw that today, a preview
Okay.
when I was watching the Nuggets get blown out. It was like How to Train My Dragon. I was like, that movie just came out a few years ago. Why the fuck is there a remake? It came out in 2010.
Yeah, it's an old ass.
You could have told me you could have told me 2019. I would have believed you. That's how fast time is going and how things are just squashed together now.
Dude, I used to work for Kellogg's and actually set up a giant boat for that fucking movie when it first came out.
Seriously?
Yeah.
A giant boat.
Yeah.
Let me make sure this is recording.
Inside Walmart.
I think we're good. A boat inside of Walmart.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy. Oh, I worked at a mall in Tucson for
Okay.
years, and there was a big fucking movie theater there.
Oh yeah.
Are you trying to support? Yeah, I know this is
said where to fucking look.
right. I know it's weird. And they would just give us. They would throw out like the old like posters and billboards and like cardboard cutouts, and I used to just take them.
Okay.
So I just had like random shit in my apartment.
Oh, dude.
There'd just be like Adam Sandler or
Yeah.
Fast and Furious 7, just Vin Diesel in them, and I'd just have it in my room until I'd wake up one day like, I'm going to trip over this and break my fucking neck, and I don't even like this movie, so why am I doing this?
Also creepy as fuck. Like imagine having like people over. I don't know if you had anyone in your bedroom, but like just Vin Diesel staring.
Oh,
them
yeah,
down.
yeah, for sure. It was idiotic behavior. All right, Michael Lynn is here. Juke is here. There's a bunch of people in the chat room.
That's cool. Wow, you have a fan base.
I kind of do.
I would hope so. You have fucking over 1,000 subscribers. If you don't have at least a few.
I got 1,500 subscribers. This podcast has been going for 5 years, a little over 5 years.
Okay.
And it started during COVID, like March of 2020.
Wow, you literally were like, what am I going to do?
Yeah,
Podcast?
because I started off before stand-up. I made music and we did podcasts, and then I just got so
no
heavily into stand-up, I just never podcasted anymore. And then people kept asking, "When are you gonna have a podcast? When are you gonna have a podcast?" And then I finally fucking did it.
Were you get government checks during that time? The good old.
I got the one stimulus check,
just one.
Fuck yeah, just one.
You
What am I,
didn't-
a fucking baby mama with 7 kids? How am I gonna get more than one?
No, the fucking the 600 that they were giving away. You didn't.
I never got the 600.
Oh, you're doing stand up at that time. That's why.
I
right?
guess. So for where? Like on fucking VR? Like that was in the Zoom comedy days.
Oh no! I'm saying like okay, having a job, losing the job, getting unemployment.
I never got unemployment either. I was just doing Uber Eats and just
That sucks.
selling weed allegedly. That's what I was doing at the beginning of the pandemic.
Allegedly, I gotcha.
So that $1,200 check, I just used to buy more product and then
Allegedly.
triple my fucking money allegedly, and that was the whole deal. And then also I've talked about I used to have a bit about it on stage is when those stimulus checks hit in like 2021, whenever
Okay.
the fuck that was,
Yeah.
2020 maybe,
Yeah. Both.
dude. Well, the big one, the first one that most
Yeah.
people got, the $1,200 one.
Yeah.
People, there's a lot of people that $1,200 is the most money in a chunk that they're ever going to see in their life. And they're
Sad.
not allowed to work and they're not allowed to go anywhere. So they're like, let's just order gourmet food and spend like $270 on steaks and just tip you $50, and the volume was so insane that there was days I was making. I mean, this is not a lot of money, but for Postmates at the time,
Yeah.
to make for consecutive days in a row to make like $300 a day delivering is fucking crazy money. That's really good,
That is really good, actually. My buddy was doing Postmates and never hit anywhere near. What the fuck? Holy shit.
dude. And it was just like homeless people just buying like gourmet. I would like look for the address, and it's
Okay.
like, oh, it's behind the Quick Trip, and there'd just be a guy who looked like Leatherface who'd walk up, and I'm like, you're buying Fleming steaks right now. It was dude, it was fucking insane. Just the people splurging on food.
And no violence. You didn't get fucked with. No issues.
No, not really. I haven't had any real close calls of people. The most embarrassing thing that happened to me one time. This was when I was still in Tucson.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. And I'm at like some gated community, and the fucking person is not answering. They're not picking up, and I was already in like a shit mood.
Okay.
And I'm in my car, and I don't want to say I had a meltdown, but I'm just like, motherfucking son of a bitch, and I'm like yelling, and I look over, and the woman is standing next to my window, like this close, and I'm having this meltdown in my car, and I have to just embarrassingly roll down the window and hand her food with this like, there you go. She still tipped me, but I was like, good Lord. Fucking humiliating. Yeah.
Well, she was there for support, emotional support. So she helps. She helps.
Yeah.
She took you out of it. Did she not? Did she not?
Pretty much she ended the meltdown going on, you know? So it's like
Woman's-
now problem diffused, I guess.
God bless her.
So let's introduce the guests to you before I make this all about myself yelling about things. You just moved back to Austin. Tell your little backstory and how we came to be friends and what's going on.
Okay. So yeah, moved to. It was literally the week that they announced they were going to shut down Ohio, COVID.
Okay.
You're
from Ohio.
originally, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Cleveland area, basically.
Cleveland. Fuck yeah.
It's
LeBron James, baby.
Yeah, there's a reason he left. Anyways, yeah, me and my buddy, we were supposed to like leave a week later, but we said fuck it and drove straight. And yeah, I just did comedy for a few years down here, and then I think
Wait, did you start comedy here?
no, it was Cleveland. It was Cleveland. Well,
Okay.
okay, the very first time I ever did comedy was in New York City, but as far
There
as
you go, baller. It's like I started at
It
a
was
fucking
bad.
taco shop in fucking Tucson, Arizona.
that's a lot cooler. It was the Old Creek was the first mic I ever did.
Damn. Wow.
But it wasn't good. It was bad. It was very bad. Like, trust me. Like, I talked about my fucking boss at the time, who was like a 6'4" gay man.
Whoa. Did he like do something to you?
No. But he definitely like.
Why does his size have any matter of him being gay? Unless he used the size against you in a homosexual way, what detail does that even mean?
So okay.
I guess it does matter though. If he was like 5'2", you'd be like, whatever, I'm not threatened. But if he's like the size of Brock Lesnar, you're like, he could rape me.
That's the thing. It was like he was. I don't know how to.
Just kidding, YouTube. I keep forgetting I'm on YouTube sometimes, and you can't. There's certain words you're just not allowed to say, regardless of context or trying to be funny.
Yeah, 1984 shit was Unalive, and what's the other one for? Can't say the S word. You can say Unalive.
There's a lot. Yeah, exactly. I mean, what they say though is that the first 7 minutes is critical as far as the way they sweep through, whatever censorship AI they use or whatever. Like
Okay.
they're saying after like 7 minutes, you can usually start just talking shit because it checks the beginning and then the middle is usually good, and then unless you're like very successful and you have like thousands of eyeballs on you at all times, like it's from what I've heard. So usually you
Okay.
try to be on a good behavior, and then it's just like racial slurs and talking about killing people.
Perfect. We got 3 minutes left.
Yes.
Awesome. No, so the reason why I always mention that detail because he was like a 250 pound.
Damn.
He wasn't fat though. No. The point is he was just the most imposing gay man I've ever in my entire life met. He was actually like a really good positive influence, but
HIV positive. You walked me through that one.
I'm the straight man in this conversation apparently,
Oh God.
in more than one ways.
Yeah.
But no, he would like take me out to dinner, and he was like gave me massages.
Oh my
once.
God. He was grooming you, dude.
He he had this. Trust me, the
So
conversation.
I'm
was-
paying attention. I'm sharing this right now, so I post a screenshot. and all this
No.
stuff.
The relationship was definitely like he was a strange person for sure. Like telling other people, they'd be like, "What the hell?"
Oh my god.
Yeah, we went to multiple sushi dinners, and like he paid for everything, and he had this thing about.
Well, that's why I asked you, like, where did you start comedy? Now you're just telling me this long story about how a large gay man was just grooming you.
It's a great part of my life.
No, continue though. I'm enjoying it.
No, he shit. What I'm trying to think of. Yeah, he was my boss.
Okay.
So, shit. But yeah, he was just shit. Where was I going with this? But so I always talked about him. The first time I did it, I was just talking about him and how it was kind of that relationship's just weird, but it did it terribly, obviously. But I always viewed him as like a bulldog. Like, imagine like a mastiff that's not very friendly. You're gonna listen to that mastiff. You're not gonna tell it no. You're not gonna fight it. You're just gonna go along with things. And that's kind of how I felt, because at the time, even now, I'm a giant loser about certain personalities, like weakness. There's a lot of weakness.
Right.
And I was definitely way worse then. So I was just like, oh yeah, and just anyway. So
Wow.
My stories go nowhere.
So
First time I did comedy, anyway. So it was New York City, and then
was it just, obviously it was like an open mic situation, right?
100%. Yeah. No,
Some people do like competitions and shit. Like
for
their
the first time.
Yes, I know several people that they just join like a comedy contest, and that's their first time ever.
Why?
Which is so fucking weird.
Wait,
That's
Phoenix?
insane.
Tucson or whatever.
Arizona, yeah, for sure. And then just I've heard comedians talk about it like in podcasts, and just over the years talking with people, they're like, "Yeah, I did a contest first." I'm just like, that's so fucking crazy.
I don't understand it, because like that is the most terrifying situation.
I'm going to join a fucking rec league basketball, team with never even shooting a free throw before. I don't know. Like, that's weird to me.
And what? Did they even win? They didn't even get any far? There's got to be at least one story. Like, yeah, I ended up winning the thing. Like,
yeah, there's some people who
bought
said they've won it. I was like,
50
yeah, because
people.
you were in the Special Olympics of comedy. That's why you fucking won.
Plus, they brought like their 50 friends and
Oh,
family.
so yeah, there's a thing that I always call event comedians, and they're the most dangerous comedians in competitions. Outside of if you're just like really good and it's fairly judged by like the club staff and whatever system they use, but there's some people who've been doing comedy for years and they have a real job, a real life, a real family, and they have the chops just good enough to where they can deliver their jokes, whether it's hacky or not. They bring like 60 people into the fucking club. They're gonna love them. And you just made the club hundreds of dollars. You made all of your friends laugh. You're a shoe into the second round. I call them event comics, bro. Like which is not a bad. I mean, if you like your job and your family, it's probably better than the life of a comedian really going for it. So I'm not hating. I'm just saying
100%.
that sometimes you get annoyed with them because you're like, people get so mad, like he doesn't even do comedy, and they go up there and they have like set of the night, and you're like, you motherfucker.
Sounds like some of the comedy competitions we have down here.
Oh, absolutely. And that's no shade on any particular establishment. That is just the way most competitions go. It's a business all day.
100%. Although I don't understand why.
And comedy's not fair anyway. It's not supposed. I always tell people life isn't fair, so comedy sure as fuck isn't fair. So do your best, have the best positive outlook on it, and the whatever you deserve is going to happen, for better or for worse. Just try to have fun and know what it is.
Wait a minute. So what makes it not fair? I'm curious. Like, why would you say
there's
that?
no why would I say that?
Yeah.
There's no true level playing field, and there's politics, and there's who you know, just strings to pull with people giving you a shoe in, as opposed to just like hard work, dedication, and ability is not going to be the thing that pushes you over the top.
Hard work and dedication to what specifically about comedy, though?
Just becoming a good comic, just objectively good at the art form, as far as the ability to go on stage and make people laugh with time put in.
100%. It's like what, 30% of comedy being funny?
Probably, yeah.
70% is like the network bullshit. Which,
for sure.
Speaking of, how's that going?
Not great. It's fine. Like, I've just decided to just, as gay as it sounds, have fun.
That's how it should be.
Right. Have fun and stop having just unrealistic expectations and thinking you deserve things. And this week alone, which has never happened to me, I have like 5 to 7 new jokes that I'm excited about. So I actually am going to hit Anderson Mill. And I did Duck last week, and I'm just I'm excited. Is it still not maybe going on?
I don't know. The rumor has it that, they don't know. The new host doesn't know for sure because allegedly the half the staff walked out the night after last Tuesday. So
Whoa, yeah, Corey told me that.
So I don't.
There's a bunch of like Jerry Springer level dramatics going on at the old Anderson Mill pub here in North Austin, Texas, where the favorite and legendary open mic Anderson Mill pub, which I've talked about on this podcast 1,000 times, even though I haven't gone to it in like 2 months.
You're a better man for it.
Oh yeah, you have to go through phases, and like I'll go back someday if it comes back. But I also told another comic recently, I was like, maybe it's good that it's gone. It's kind of run its course. Like, maybe Anderson Mill is better utilized as right now. Talking about, remember the crazy day when the guy got stabbed on the patio of Anderson Mill? Remember when Mike Hudak flipped out and tombstone pile drived a drunk comic? Remember the time that guy got kicked? I mean,
Mr. Tramps.
I feel like it needs to be Mr. Tramps at this point. It needs to be a thing that we talk about and reminisce on and have a good war story about. But being every fucking Tuesday currently is kind of crazy. Like, I think maybe it's for the good that it's over.
Well, I mean, there's so much great girls there that you could have hung out with. And
well, yeah, all that aside, I mean, it is a crazy bar that it gets a lot of people out there. But from a comedy standpoint, open mic every week, I feel like it's done its job, and it's time to just, give it a salute and move on with our lives.
No, man, we got to hold on to this.
Got to hold on to it. Oh, the Bengal dragon is here. Whoa, there's another dragon in the chat room right now.
Fraud, fake, not real.
Hey, brother, since you were interviewing a dragon, I felt I had to at least say hi. That is the Bengal dragon, a avid video game follower of mine.
Why the Bengal dragon? So is your last name Dragon Buddy, or is
I think it's just a nickname.
Ah, come on.
Anyway,
other people.
I want to dissect your mind more about when did you move to Austin?
So I moved to Austin second week of March of 2020.
Whoa, so you're one of the early guys.
Yeah. No, I got here right at the
Did you get here before Rogan? I had to be.
Yes, 100%.
Because he came in the summer of 2020, so you probably beat him by a couple months.
Yeah, I found out he was moving here like 2 months before, whenever he announced it.
Yeah.
In like November.
Is that why you chose here?
No. My buddy had been living here for 5 years. I visited him, and
there's this stigma that goes on, and I kind of get it. There's comics that have been doing comedy in Austin for like 10 years, like 10 years from now. So like 6 years before Rogan moved, and they kind of see people before and after. It's like BC type thing, like, or BR, before Rogan.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
And I don't hate them for it, and I kind of understand where they're coming from, but like there's so many different variables. Like a lot of it's just like kill Tony dorks who are trying to become famous, who've been doing comedy for like 4 years, and they started right when Rogan moved here. And then there's other people who are real comics who've been doing it and moved here because this is going to be a scene with opportunity, but they kind of pull you into the same thing. Yeah,
it's because there's 4,000 of those other guys.
Yeah. For sure.
It dilutes everything. I don't know. It's really weird. Do you think – I feel like Austin's slowly changing to where talent finally matters a little bit, but even then I don't think it's really – like other scenes I've heard, like Denver, if you're really good, you tend to be pulled places allegedly. New York City, I've heard that you can if people think you're actually funny, you can move quicker, but I don't know if that's true necessarily.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's so complicated and there's so many different variables. Like, I've always said it depends. Like, there's a lot of – so if you're just trying to get booked a lot, some people measure success and if you're a hitter in the scene that you're, like, on showcases a lot.
Sure.
But a lot of that is just, like – I hate to say it, but it's like friends booking friends a little bit, which makes sense. It's like a reciprocal thing. It's just like you book me, I'll book you. You're funny and you're my friend. If you're just like kind of a loner comic who's a good comic, you're never going to be funny enough to overcome friends booking friends who get a benefit out of it and they like each other. Like you're just some. I mean, if you're good, that should overcome more, in my opinion. But like I said, that's just not the way it is.
Still a relationship side of it.
100%. But yeah, Austin's super competitive, and there's so many different factors that just being funny is just kind of one piece of the puzzle.
Is it just me, or does it feel less competitive now than it did like a year or two ago? Like I had more people.
I mean, you were gone for a while,
yes.
So I feel like it's more competitive now. But
that's fair. I think there's more people here now.
Yeah,
for sure, 100%. But as far as like getting the spots, I don't know. I just felt more people are more open to like. I've been thrown up a couple times, and I wasn't even expecting anything.
Hmm.
I don't know. I don't know. That's just people like knowing them and them being appreciative, or oh, you're out of town. Like that's a thing too. Like oh yeah, I'm out
Oh
of
yeah,
town.
I always tell
Wink.
comics use up your out of town clout because that shit
Dries
dries
quick.
up. You can you can come to town and you hit up a few people, and then you're on at Creek. You get a spot at Sunset. You get like 3 brewery shows. You get East Austin. You can get up 5 times in a night and feel like a fucking king. And then you move here, and 6 months later, you're like bitching that you got bumped at Tiniest Mike. You know what I mean? Like shit changes fast.
Right. Well, yeah, I know a couple of guys. At least one guy that doesn't live here but does, and that's I don't know.
Wait, what's that?
I know of at least one person who like lives here but doesn't. If that makes sense. Like oh yeah,
They're
I'm
back
in
and
town.
forth. Yeah. There was one dude. I won't even say his name because he's cool and he's funny, and it's not even like a bad. I
Yeah.
actually don't even remember his name. But
The ultimate
he's
protection.
pretended to like be out of town, going on like a year and a half now. Like he got on Kill Tony like recently and said that like he just moved here, and I'm like, bro, you were telling me in like 2023 you fucking moved here. What are you talking about? And then he told me like personally, he's like, yeah, I've been using that out of town clout, and I'm just like, they're gonna find out at some point.
Yeah,
you
when
know?
he moves here, wink, wink, wink.
Yeah, and he's been living here, so I mean, maybe he can just be like, He just stays away long enough to be like, oh, I'm back in town again, even
That's
though he lives
yeah.
like 10 miles away.
Yeah, just go hit up San Marcos or Houston. I don't know.
Here's the one thing I will say is that like a lot of people think that you're gonna make it inside of Austin, and very few do. Like, just comedy has always been a travel-based thing, and
100%.
going out and doing stand. I always say Austin's a great home base regionally and geographically because Houston, San Marcos,
Yep.
fucking all these small ass towns, Dallas, all of it is, and it's all within a driving. You can drive there in 2 to 4 hours. You're hitting a big scene that has work.
Yeah, no, it was Houston's the 3rd largest city in the United States. 3rd or 4th largest city.
Something like that. I think it's 4th because I think Chicago's 3, and then Dallas is like. I think
Top
San
10, I
San
believe.
Antonio's bigger than Dallas. No,
Really? San
yes,
Antonio?
a little bit. It is. So
Dallas Fort Worth. They always lump the two together.
yes,
You
if you say just Dallas, it's lower than
Okay,
San
okay,
Antonio. But
okay.
Texas has 4 of the because Austin fluctuates from like 10 to 12. But if you want to
Okay.
say on like its highest point, it's 10.
Sure.
Austin is 10. I think Dallas is like 8. San Antonio's 7, and Houston's 4.
That's crazy.
And then there's the metro areas and all the towns. Like there's so much. You can drive in Texas for 11 hours. If you start like in El Paso and go
Yeah.
all the way to like East Texas, you can just still be in Texas for like 10 to 12 hours.
That's insane. Yeah, no, when I was driving through, was it from
Yo.
here to El Paso? Was fucking what? It's like
Dude,
8
I
hours?
live in
It's
I'm from
ridiculous.
Tucson, and El Paso's twice as close to Tucson as it is to where I am now in the same state as El Paso.
That's insane.
It's 8 hours to El Paso from here, and it was only 4 from Tucson.
It's insane.
Fucking crazy, right?
I'm 90% certain you could just be a Texas comic and make enough money.
If you get booked enough and you get on these things, you 100% can. But the thing is, I'm saying is in Austin, people do this like get rich quick scheme thing, and I understand because TikTok is so popular
True,
and
true.
Reels and YouTube and going viral. And what better place to go viral than Mothership and Kill Tony and a town that's being touted as like the fucking king of stand-up. So I just don't like that approach. I just feel like that you should try to be getting as funny as fucking possible and using every outlet you can, making sketches, posting every day, streaming, making content, showing face, doing mics, and just trying to get good. But there's a lot of like 2 to 4 year in comedians that are obsessed with blowing up as opposed to getting good at what could be considered the hardest thing in the world. Not just getting good at it. If you're a natural,
this
fair
is-
enough. Or if you're just more inclined to be funnier on stage, your mind just works that way. It's just like all the
Absolutely.
other factors of knowing the right people, being in the right place at the right time, and getting booked and excelling. There's so many different
Right.
things. To have everything go right is hard.
100%. Which is why you are doing it, right? 'Cause it's a challenge.
That's why I'm doing comedy. 'Cause I don't even fucking know why I'm doing it at this point. And I'm not saying that to be bitter. I'm just saying I've been doing it so long. It's just like, it's just what I do. It's just like, it's almost just like second nature. It's just like, oh, I feel like my cat goes and takes a shit in the litter box. That's just, does it question it? Does my cat be like, why do I do that? No, it doesn't. It just does it.
Would you say pretty healthy mentally? Would you say anything like that? I know I'm a little weird, but like,
I mean, who would do stand-up comedy like as a career if they were like mentally sound all the way? There has to be some kind of weird thing with you or something off, even if you're good. Because like to want to do comedy, to think the way of a comedian, sometimes you are a little off. I feel like.
well, you have to be because that's that's where you find what makes you unique and shit, right?
Yeah, not like to brag either. Because like if I took an IQ test or I'm compartmentally smart, I meet like fucking brilliant comedians sometimes, like people that are just unusually smart for where they're at in life
100%.
compared to like academic people who have like 4 degrees and shit. I'm like, I
Right,
feel like this
right.
person would body you in a debate, but they dropped out of high school in 10th grade and you have 4 fucking degrees on your wall.
Right.
So it's a
right.
weird, I feel like it attracts like unusually smart people for how smart you think they would be for being a comic who talks about their penis on stage.
It's such an energy suck. Like the amount of work involved really is a black hole of getting nowhere for a very long time for most
There's
people.
very little stability in it unless you hit the jackpot. And there's so many different miniature things that you can. Comedian who has a lot of money and just wants to be a sweetheart and take you on the road. That happens where there's like a millionaire level comic or heavy
sugar
six
daddy
figure,
of sorts.
and they want to let you open or feature for them, and they take you on the road and they'll pay for your flights and shit. I know comics this has happened to.
Okay, great.
And then they build their name doing that too.
Yeah.
So it's just like if you're doing fucking 18 weekends, 20 weekends out of the year, sold out shows at improvs, and you're killing it, and you're connecting with people and passing out cards and merchandise at the end of shows, you'll fucking build your fan base. And then that's the way the system is meant to be, and what some people are looking for is they just to get their recognition, and then after they've built it up for a while, they can break off. And now they're
right.
now they're headlining Wednesday night at the comedy club they used to open for,
Right.
said headliner. It took 3.5 years, but they're in year 7 of comedy, and now they're finally starting to headline one nights or year 10, whatever they're in.
So you okay, so you've been doing 14 years?
It'll be 14 in August.
Okay. So how much did you spend talking with like the old heads when you first started?
I mean, like in general, like when I very first started, just like
Yeah.
picking the minds of
Yeah.
headliners and shit.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't talk a lot. Like I watch and observe. Like I used to go to Laughs in Tucson and just watch headliners
Okay.
for like the first several months, and I'd always try to buy a T-shirt, or they started just giving them to me and shit. Once I started getting guest spots, and
Mhm.
I'd do a spot that would just, I'd always try to support and give whatever $25 for a shirt. I'd try to buy a shirt,
Sure.
and then ask questions, but not feel because it's kind of. I mean, I like to help. And I like to try to have empathy and not like roll my eyes at like newer comics who are like excited and annoying. I try to be cool and just tell them things that could help them. But it sometimes does get annoying when comics that are just objectively bad and they're like super new and they ask too many questions sometimes. I'm like, I'm fine to give some advice and chat a little bit. But when they're like, did you see my set? What do you think of this joke? And I'm just like, just bomb for 6 years like the rest of us. And then
Be a man about it.
figure it out.
Okay.
I've always said listening to comedians' podcasts too, like good comics that have been doing it for a long time. Doing it as much as you can and listening to podcasts, I feel like is a way to do it. And watching comedy works too.
Okay.
I don't watch stand up. I watch it live. Like I seriously rarely ever watch specials. I just don't do it. I don't.
Are you one of those guys that don't want to get other people's voices in your head? and shit?
No. That's kind of there when people mention it, but that's not like the main thing. It's just it's so much better live, and I do it so much that it's just like I'm doing it so much when I want to see it at a high level, I can watch it live, and
That's
then
fair.
now who cares about comedy? It's not the only thing I care about. So now I'm going to stream a video game, watch a movie, try to fucking pay my bills somehow. And so I don't just sit there and just hunt Netflix specials like a lot of people.
Yeah. So the reason I was asking is because I know
Yo, bowls dip. Sorry, chat.
no, you're fine. Comedy harder or easier now to make a career out of it? Theoretically, I think it's easier, but I don't know.
It's the same because like there's way more opportunity, but it's level playing field. So it's just like now everyone's on TikTok, everyone's on Reels,
okay.
but the opportunity is more too. So I feel like that the amount of people going for it has just it's just so much larger than it was, but the ability to be exposed is so much larger. So I think I would say it's probably easier now, maybe Now that I think of it, I started in
Theoretically.
2011, and I mean, yeah, theoretically, you would think that now would be easier because all it takes is fucking Snoop Dogg sharing a reel of yours, and you have 87,000 new followers, and out of those 87,000, maybe 10,000 really fuck with you, and then maybe you end up selling 400 fucking tickets in a town because of that reel that went crazy.
You know what?
And then the club is like, oh, he killed it too. We'll recommend you to this guy, and then you build a fucking thing.
The Shucky Ducky style of gets booked, kills again, gets booked, bombs, doesn't have a career anymore, but made enough money that he fucking invested it and bought some shit. So yeah, and that's what's nice about Austin though is there's a little bit of industry going on where that can happen.
Yeah.
I've seen
It's a big deal city that matters for comedy. Like I said, I'm not obsessed with the mentality of most people that are just trying to, blow up at year 4.
That's fair.
As opposed to, but I mean, if it's there, take it. And there's some exceptions, like a guy who's like a fucking anomaly.
Okay.
And he's a sweetheart of a dude, and he's like murdering it right now. Cam Patterson.
That's
I've heard
exactly
people
who-
bring him up. I'd be like, that's like, I mean, what are we doing here? That's like bringing up like Luka Doncic or something. It's like, yeah, that's like a one. That's like a 1%.
Oh.
Because Cam's been doing comedy for like 3 years, and he's already like a fucking household name headliner, selling out fucking rooms, and people love him. So he gives people like, oh, you can do that. It's like, no, you can't. That's like bringing up like Pablo Francisco.
Or
It
LeBron
started
James.
in Tucson at
Okay.
the comedy club I started at. And
That
people,
guy?
yes, he's from Tucson. He's like a legend there. And people said that he was like fucking basic. Like within 2 years, he was like a legit headliner. I was like, that's not normal. You're comparing yourself to like some special, impossible thing that is not the norm.
I was told that about Nick to the Adam Sandler crew. Nick
Swardson?
Nick Swardson. Same thing. Like he just
Yeah.
blew
Yeah.
up. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. So what made them blow up so fast? Don't say anomaly. Like what about it? There's got to be a thing.
No, because they're so fucking talented and special. So that is inside of the anomaly description.
But what about them made them
And
special?
becoming lucky too. There's
Of
there's
course, well, of
several
course,
things.
Of course.
So it's just like 10,000 people do comedy. There's only like hell, there might be a couple of those, that happen
Okay.
where they're within a couple years are legit headliners with all the success, with all the praise, and it's just you trying for that to be what you are gonna achieve is like super unrealistic. You should just focus on getting as good as possible and having fun and like learning and doing what you have to do, as opposed to like I'm gonna get on Kill Tony and fucking explode and blow up.
Okay, you're going to. Great. That's awesome. When are you going to blow up, man?
Right.
But I don't know. I always look at people like I hate it when people are like, oh, this got lucky, this guy. Yeah, luck's always a part of life. Like
Good. Just like I'm not mad at TikTokers anymore. I went to, like when TikTok was really 2019 to 2021.
Mhm.
I saw people that weren't comics and they were like headlining clubs, and I'm just like, what a fucking
Holy shit.
asshole. That's stupid. But they went viral because they made fun sketches.
Yep.
And
They're good at that.
content. So do that. Comedians who've been doing comedy for 10 years make sketches. If it doesn't work out, fair enough. But you have the same ability they do, and you're a comic. So now you don't have to try to headline a fucking room when you're not even an open mic level comedian. That
Right.
sounds insane to me.
Well, who's getting asses in the seats? And that would be
That's what I'm saying.
yeah.
So if you can somehow and there's a few guys I know.
Okay.
I mean, this dude's already been really good for a long time. Jesus Sepulveda.
Okay.
He's been doing comedy a little bit longer than me. He's a little young. I'd say he's like 37.
Okay.
Been doing comedy since like 2009. So like
Holy shit.
21 years old is when he started.
Okay.
Just in like the last like year, he's fucking exploded on TikTok with like, because he's very funny with like accents, and like he does like these videos of being just like an illegal Mexican dude or whatever who's at the construction site, and he'll do these skits that have gotten millions of views, and now
Mhm.
he's selling tickets, but he's already a monster headliner. So I love
perfect.
I love to see that. I'm like a dude who's already crazy funny, who's put in the work, well over a decade, and now he's getting hundreds of thousands of followers from sketches, and then they want to see him. They're like, oh, normal fans like, this guy makes me laugh so much. He's in town. Let's go watch him. They've never seen his comedy, and he has hours of material, and he's an assassin, so they get the real deal. They don't get the person that's never done comedy, even though they'll probably enjoy them too because they like them.
Of course.
I've seen TikTokers who do fine, or some that are kind of an anomaly too. They figured out kind of how to be a comedian rather quickly because they have the cheat code of their fans, and they figured it out a little bit.
Right.
But when you have a true headliner who becomes a TikToker, you can't miss.
Well, that's why I think like with Hans or whatever, he got lucky, and then he had the skill to back it up and keep it going. And now he's doing what he's doing.
Right.
It seems to be anyway. So okay, the point is with your buddy or whatever. I don't know how close you guys were, but or are or whatever. But what did he do that suddenly he blew up?
I don't know exactly, but he started producing more sketches, and he's funny. And I think some people shared it. That's a big thing, where content creators with millions of followers will share your shit, and then they see it, and then they subscribe to you, and then just like I said, there's a lot of luck, a lot of different variables, but he started making sketches is what happened, and they exploded, and now he has a lot of followers.
Okay, was he doing them weekly, daily, monthly?
I don't know.
Okay, all right.
A lot though,
because like I think you have the talent behind it to do something like that.
Yeah, I need to do it more. Yeah. I mean, man, I need to cut back on these 3-hour Resident Evil streams and like actually fucking do something with my life.
I don't know. I was told lives are a great way to build an audience.
It is a little bit. I have seen. I mean, I probably get like. I've been getting like probably 10 new subscribers a week, but that on average. Sometimes it's more, but what is that? 40 a month.
That's not bad.
It's not bad.
Well, okay, so revenue stream or whatever like that. Like, are you doing merch? Are you doing?
No, I have some members. I need to be better to my members and start releasing more. I have like a 16-minute set at Velveeta Room that is for members only that people can watch if they pay the whatever it is, $3 a month. It is something real cheap. No, I need to. It's just I need to have money to pay for shirts and more merchandise to sell. So it's just like,
do you? Okay, well, whatever. So you always been nice to me. Yeah, if you ever need any help with that, just letting you know.
Fuck yeah, dude. Much appreciated.
Of course. But all right. As far as how we met, I think it was just at Corey's Dig Pub or something.
Oh my! So Dig Pub.
What happened to that, by the way?
So Dig Pub. I haven't talked about it on this podcast. Do you still have the thing?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
Yes.
So
it's in my car.
New Year's Eve going into 2024. So this is well over. This is a year and a half ago now, right? Has to be.
Yeah, about a year and a half. Yeah.
So there was these party. What are those, horns or whatever?
Yeah, the party for New Year's. Like
for the listeners, like birthday party, Happy New Year, where you just blow into the horn and it unfolds and it goes like one of those things. He had a fucked up one that was like broken, so it sounded like a dying fucking like crow or some shit. It was just like it sounded crazy. And then we figured out how to do it. We figured out how to fuck them up and make them like kind of, but his sounded the best. Like I fucked one up and tweaked it and it kind of sounded all crazy and we were just like blowing them all night. People were getting pissed and it was hilarious. And then one day, like months later, I'm on stage at Dig Pub and I start talking about it and then he just goes and he has it. I'm like, how the fuck do you still have that thing?
I'm never letting it go. I actually was kind of hoping to lie to you about it for a little while and then surprise you, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Oh, my God.
I'm too honest. I had a chance to lie to you.
No,
right
Dig
now.
Pub was the shit. Like, I've always said that Anderson Mill is fine and it's kind of that, but it wasn't as intimate and as like I said things at Dig Pub that I would never say anywhere else.
Why?
Just because. Like, it's just.
Like the comfort. Okay.
The comfort. And it's just like, I'm not going to. It's just more of like going up and roasting Corey and yelling about my day and not really caring, but it's a good room so you can stretch that muscle, and then when you have a real show, you're more yourself. I mean, I have no shame saying whatever. Like I've gone crazy on other stages, but
of course.
That room, like that was the room where I told that joke where like that dude said the N-word, and I like said it on stage, and it killed so fucking hard that like the rest of my set just kind of just felt mediocre. And I was like, I'm not saying that anywhere else. Like that's what's happening here tonight for Alden and Corey and you and like the 7 drunk audience members that were there and the other few comics. But it was just like, I feel like you need crazy rooms like that.
But like, why wouldn't you? If it killed so hard, don't you want to kill her
Because
again?
I'm not gonna die on the hill of this pissing off venues because I said something that's deemed to not be allowed to be said. Like I say a lot of things. Like it's just like
I got you.
it's not like I'm standing up for something. No, it's free speech. It's like it's something. It's a throwaway story, you know, that it was fun to tell at that time, and I just feel like it's cool to have rooms where you can do that. But I don't need that necessarily.
Okay. Okay.
You know,
No, it's-
99% of any other thing I'm gonna say on stage
Business.
doesn't need that.
That's fair. That's fair.
You know,
But it was good to have that opportunity to stretch.
100%.
So, Anderson Mill can't be that for you. I
You know, Anderson Mill kind of is that. Like I've gone crazy on Anderson Mill a lot actually.
it's the closest I feel like Austin has to a black room as far as
Anderson Mill?
Like,
Yeah, a little bit as far as the energy goes.
yeah. Like we don't care about you. Wait a minute. Oh, you're saying something funny. We're paying attention, and we're back to our conversation because you suck.
Oh my god. I remember like I've talked about this before.
Okay.
But Anderson Mill, you know, I went through this the hardest I bombed in maybe a year and a half was probably the last time I did Anderson Mill. Like it was just like
Perfect.
a hard like once you get like pretty good at stand up, you have sets where you say you bomb, but you still got like some laughs. This was like I'm talking
Zero.
a flat line. It was like that for like everyone, but it was just like where the silence is louder than anything else you can hear. Where it's just like you feel it. I'm just like, what the fuck? But that was coming off of like I had this streak at Anderson Mill where even on Hell Nights I was crushing. I don't know how the fuck I was doing it, but it was just like it was working. And I remember one night Alexa Irizarry
Yes.
murdered so fucking hard before me that she made me try, and I never really like try at Anderson Mill. I'm always just like I'm gonna do something that I know is funny, but I'm gonna rant and I'm gonna try new jokes. That's the whole point of this deal is to work on things. But it was like a rough night, and she went up and like got like applause breaks. So I went up and like tried, and I murdered too. But I was like, "You bit me, bitch! You made me fucking try." At Anderson Mill, like you're not, you know. I felt like
made me
I felt
waste
like a
energy.
pussy. I felt because I was just like, I'm not gonna bomb after that like powerful set, you know.
So okay, when you say try, you did like polished material.
Yeah, I
right?
did like a set. I would do it like a comedy club late show where I'm trying to kill. Like, so I tried to kill, and like I'm not like I did, but it was just like, yeah, you better if you're like been doing it for as long as you've been doing it, and someone, you know,
Right.
because I feel like that you can't follow someone is a overrated thing. I mean, for like once you've hit a certain level, me and Corey talk about it all the time. It's just like you can. I rather follow someone killing than eating shit because I feel like when people are in a bad mood and the energy goes down, it's
Right.
harder to bring the crowd back than it is if someone is just fucking, you know, smashing the crowd and everyone's laughing and howling and
100%.
clapping. If
anything-
you're like, I mean, I followed back in the day when I was like, you know, still figuring it out. I bombed following good comics, but like now I feel like I'm not saying, oh, like I'm gonna follow anyone at any given time ever. Like if Bill Burr is murdering, and am I gonna follow that? I'm not saying I can't, but it's just I'd rather follow killers.
100%. Well, okay, so A, it makes you try harder, but B, also, yeah, no one talks about how like the person who did well before you just made the crowd really super easy, in my opinion, anyways. But like, so okay. So you've done well after someone who crushes. You've done poorly after someone who crushes.
Right,
What is
yeah.
the difference maker for you?
I just think that it's hard to bring a crowd back once they're in just like shit's not funny right now mode.
Oh no, I'm sorry. The other, not negative, but like the positive. Like someone did well,
You just ride the wave.
but like you see people who after someone who does well, they crash. They fucking the crowd hates them or
Because
whatever.
they're nervous and they're just like sometimes it's just that they're not that good. It's hard if you're
I gotcha.
inexperienced and
I
you're
gotcha.
not that good and you're in your own head.
Yes.
It's just not going to go well. They can smell it. They're just like, "Oh fuck, this person."
Okay, so that's like just be confident, be yourself, do your thing.
That's what I've said
don't worry
about crowd work and riffing,
Interesting.
and 90% of it is just not hesitating. Because I've
Saying
said some
obstinate.
shit. I mean, I'm far from a guru at it, but there's times where I feel like if you just don't hesitate and you say shit quickly, as weird as this is, it's almost like freestyling. Like, because I can freestyle pretty good, and
Yes.
the key is not to think, which sounds crazy. Or like you're rhyming word, especially when you do multi-syllable rhyming. Like, which the way I try to rhyme is just like you rhyme everything. Like Michael Dragon is a rifle in a cabin.
Oh shit.
You know, I stifle and then I stab him. Like you rhyme
Whoa.
everything. But
Looks pretty
the
good.
key is not to fucking think. So like on stage, yeah, you think, but you just say shit quick. Confidence and quickness is funnier than like, you know. Also, let people talk. If you're dealing with a heckler, let them talk, because you're loading up on what you're going to say to them, and they can make themselves look stupid or say something that then you can also talk about. So if a bitch is just like, blah, 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 I don't give a fuck, blah, 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 blah. As she's talking, you're thinking about what you say she looks like or sounds like, and then she says something crazy, and then now you have the description of what she looks like, and then you can comment on what she just said, and then it's just like you can't lose.
Okay. I'll keep that in mind. What's your advice to someone myself who, when they get nervous, they can't think? How do you get out of that?
You break out of it by just, putting yourself in uncomfortable situations and not. So,
Okay.
Greg Fitzsimmons, years ago on a podcast, said that you turn the corner as a comedian when you're not afraid to bomb.
Okay.
So that's different than because I've always said not giving a fuck. There's a fine line. Being disrespectful
Yes.
is bullshit. Where you're
Yes.
just abrasive and you're like, that's an insecure shield to be like, fuck you, and you don't give a fuck what they think.
Right.
You should give a fuck what they think, but don't care if they love it or respond to it or not. Have the balls to say whatever the fuck you want, and if nobody laughs, you don't care. But you're not doing it in a disrespectful fuck you kind of way.
Absolutely.
So Fitzsimmons, like, when you're not afraid to bomb, which has led to a lot of bombs, honestly. Like, where I'm just like, I'm going to try this joke no matter what, and then it's just like, okay, I deserve that.
But that's how you grow, though. You take chances.
100%, yeah. But then once you do that enough, you don't really care. And then not caring can lead to, like, a powerful energy as you're on stage, and, like, people want to enjoy, like, they're, like, hypnotized. And I don't want to say you're fooling them, but, like, there's a lot of weird factors with presentability and confidence on stage that will make people buy it more, almost. They're just like, whoa.
Yeah, show them you're the leader of the room.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah, like Fitzsimmons said, show them that you're in charge.
That's all. That's it. I think that's the biggest thing, 'cause I've seen
That's
more
why
people. Cam, I think, is
Oh,
the reason
hell
why
yeah.
he blew up so much is because he had that. Like,
For sure.
whatever the hell that is.
And there's a lot of people, like, as being a good comedian, there's so many different things. It's not just like, oh, he's like, everything he says is funny. It's like, no, there's so many other. It's like categories in basketball, too.
Okay.
Like, you're a great fucking three-point shooter, but you suck as a defender. Like, some people are never going to be, like, the king of one-liners or being able to riff, but they have great jokes. And there's other people that are just naturally able just to talk shit off the top of their head.
Right.
It's weird because there's so many different things.
I think you're pretty good at talking shit. Corey tries.
Yeah. No, I am, actually. That's this whole deal, getting on YouTube and shit. It was streaming movies on Periscope and just roasting the movie the whole time.
Talking shit.
But not I'm not saying this to brag either. It's like I don't go in like I have to be funny or I'm trying. It's just like, no, this is what I naturally think of this stupid fucking 80s movie. We're going to talk about it, and then
Right.
that's the best way. Because some people try to script things, and it's just like, once it's scripted, it's stupid.
Yeah, it's not. It loses something, right?
Right, yeah.
Yeah. I curious about Dig Pub. What happened?
They were like hemorrhaging money they didn't have, and they just closed their doors. Like, it had nothing exciting or complicated. Just the business itself went under. The mic was fine. I think they lasted a little bit longer, and then because they had to pay, they were paying to run the comedy, and then they're like, we are in the fucking negative in general, so no more comedy unless you want to do it for free. But we're so stressed out and tired of the yelling that no comedy. Like, that's basically what happened.
Okay. Because I was thinking, because the last thing I saw you guys do was that frickin' the microphone thing that you guys were mucking with.
Oh my God, disruptive cinema.
Is what? There was a name for that?
Yeah, yeah.
You guys would watch movies and do that, or
Yeah, we did it like 3 times. We did it at the Green Room, and we did it at Dig Pub, and nobody showed up, and it's just me and Corey shitting on movies. We did the movie, what the hell was it called? Terror Squad.
Okay.
From 1987. It's about Libyan terrorists that terrorize a small town in Indiana and take students hostage at a school, and it's like, it's known as like one of like the worst movies ever, but so bad that it's funny. Like, and we, which I always say those are the best movies to make fun of. Movies that are so fucking bad that it turns into an unintentional comedy. Because when I was taking movie requests all the time, people would just be like, they just throw. I was like, why do I want the movie to be funnier than me? And why the fuck do I want the movie to be trying to be so bad that it's funny? The funny comes from them thinking that it's actually serious.
Right.
Other than that, there's no joke.
Right.
Sharknado or the Raptor Priest. It's like, I don't give a fuck about this movie. I want a 1988 fucking, like, kung fu action movie where they really think the dude's a badass, and it's the corniest shit of all time. That's like Jeff Speakman. Have you heard of him?
No.
Oh my God, bro! He gives Steven Seagal a run for his money.
That's amazing.
For as far as how like Seagal is great in those so bad that it's good type movies.
Didn't Seagal fight in a chair or something like that in one of his movies?
Probably.
Yes, yeah. He was sitting down doing this.
He was
shit.
sitting in a chair. Oh my fucking God.
But okay, so does he do action movies? This other guy, was he like a horror movie? Like what was his slant?
Jeff Speakman, he was like another martial arts action guy. It was mostly, like think Steven Seagal. Just
Okay.
that style where you're like a cop or a detective or you're in Chicago. There's a fucking drug ring going on. You crash through, you get the guy, and then there's a whole shootout and the final showdown with the guy, and you're getting your ass kicked. Well, you know what I've noticed? Seagal never gets his ass kicked.
Never. No.
Even in Walker, Texas Ranger, Chuck Norris took some fucking licks.
No shit.
And then he would ultimately win the fight. But Seagal was like, no, Chief, I can't get touched. Like, he didn't give a fuck. Like, we watched a movie. One time he didn't get punched one time in the whole movie. Like, we were waiting for it. Like, he blocked everything. Even if it was 6-on-1, he'd block everything.
That sounds like Steven Seagal. He's the greatest action star of our day. I don't know if you knew this. Clearly, never got hit in a movie.
I think he's like 70 years old now. I don't know if he's still.
And he's like 400 pounds. He's disgusting. You know, how occasionally he like will. Do you see the show where he was like a cop or whatever?
Yes, I heard it was fake though.
100%. But he had to fucking. He was like, "Yo, man, you know what I'm saying?" Like as a cop or whatever, he had like a
yeah.
that kind of voice going on.
What? Yeah, he's the biggest like liar in so many categories. He was like he taught Anderson Silva moves and shit.
Like wink, wink, or like.
No, he talked to it like Anderson Silva knocked out Vitor Belfort with like this crane kick, which was one of the craziest kick knockouts in MMA history. And Seagal was there and like had an interview afterwards. Like, yeah, I taught him that.
Sure, you did.
Says
buddy.
he took credit for it. I'm
guy-
like, first off, that's already a kick that exists. So how the fuck did you teach him something that we've seen? We've never seen anyone knock someone out like that. So, but he was trying to say that he told him to do that and was showing him the technique, and that he's the reason that he did it. I don't believe that. Like Anderson Silva was the fucking king of the fucking world at the time, best pound for pound fighter of all time when he was at his peak, arguably.
No shit.
I doubt your fat retired from movies ass taught him how to fucking do that.
Seagal's a genius.
He's a fucking genius. I'm saying all this like, but
you're jealous.
probably. I also underrated person because he's kind of before our time. Charles Bronson. I love those movies.
Oh, Charles Bronson is amazing. The Death Wish movies.
Death Wish movies, and then Death Wish movies are good, but he has way better work than that.
That's not surprising.
The evil that men do is fucking. He literally takes down, and this movie's not trying to be comedic.
Okay.
Maybe this particular scene was trying to be funny, but there's like a 7-foot guy harassing some woman at the bar, and he takes down the guy by literally grabbing him by the dick, and he's holding him by the dick and like walks him down, and I think eventually he like kicks him in the face and kills him or something.
Jesus Christ.
So fucking dumb, dude.
That guy's a badass.
There was also, I always forget the name of the movie, but he takes down an entire military base with a revolver, and he never reloads once.
He's just shooting like 30 bullets.
He's just shooting, like there's a car chase, and he's shooting out. The car flips over and explodes. There's like soldiers coming over walls. And I never see him reload, and he has like a fucking 38 or something. I'm like, how is this possible?
Sounds like a trauma movie. Are you
Oh, hell yeah. Trauma movies are great.
Okay. Oh,
those ones are trying to be bad, but they're still cool.
But like I don't know, that's part of the charm too.
Yeah. That genre is fine. Like, because there's so many, they have such a high library of movies that those can kind of work.
Have you seen that the new Toxic Avenger is coming out in August?
It's been out for like 4 years, and it
released at South by, right?
South by like 2022 or something, and that was after it had already been out for like a year. Like the movie had already
really?
done. Yes, they already did screenings in like L.A. in like 2021.
Holy
like
shit.
This movie has been out for going on 5 years now. They just have never had a mass release of it.
Okay,
It's crazy. I don't know why. And it's like Peter Dinklage or some shit.
Yeah, it's got good actors. It's got
like
more
Kevin Bacon or something.
I think Elliot, the
Let's
kid
see
from
this.
fucking Lord of the Rings. He's
Elijah
in it.
Wood.
Elijah Wood, I believe, is in it as well. No, that's a. I say that because like Trauma is kind of dying, like as a business or whatever. They're not really.
Okay, it says 2023, August 20. Now it's coming out August 29th, 2025. But I
2
guarantee you it was
years.
filmed in like 2020. Watch
I
it.
believe that because
Let's see production.
it's a low budget film, but the guy who directed it apparently is really good. One of those like unknowns or whatever.
Okay. In December of
22? December
it
22?
said that principal photography commenced on June 21st, 2021.
Holy shit. Yeah, the
And
movie's 4
then-
years old.
Yeah.
Peter Dinklage is playing Toxie. Yep.
And then it came out at 2023 in Austin.
Okay. Did you see it? No?
No, I
Okay.
should have because it would have been at the Alamo Draft House over there.
What? I thought
Yeah,
it was like
yeah.
a private screen
No,
at South by.
I don't think so. I think that they actually had it.
Holy
Alamo Draft
shit.
House. I've
gotta
only gone there
fucking
like
see it.
twice, but
I was just
that's
there
a
today.
that's a cool little place.
Well, wait a minute. Which one? The specific location? Or just Alamo? Like I went to the one off Slaughter. It's a really great location. They have fucking like
This
old
one
reels
says
and stuff.
downtown Austin. Is that even there anymore?
No, that's Joe's Club, I believe.
Oh,
right?
you're right. Yeah, it is Comedy Mothership.
The fucking the sign or whatever.
But I know it was shown there because at the time I was looking
no shit.
looking into it.
Yeah, Final Destination. By the way, are you a fan of the series? Or are you?
I have not watched any of the movies in fucking years, but I saw the original in the theaters, like when I was like fucking 13 years old or whenever the fuck that
How
was.
the hell did you sneak into that shit? Were you?
No, my
fucking-
mom took us.
Why would your mom take you? Were you that much of a fan even as a kid?
No, I
of
just
horror
was like it
movies?
was. That was the first one, so there was no real. Obviously I was into horror films, but like
But I mean, like, was this your mom going? Oh, he loves that.
it
I'm
was
gonna
at the
take him."
cheap theater and we wanted to see it. So like my
Your mom's awesome.
yeah, and she took me and my buddy Jason, who was on like 2 episodes ago on this podcast. We went and saw it, and we ended up just making fun of the movie the whole time and like getting in trouble. Like we almost got kicked out of the theater. Yeah, I remember this is so dumb and like people won't even care, but we snuck in food and my mom gave us like these pudding, like she gave we had pudding. Yeah. And I remember like we were eating like, just in your sack lunch as a fucking elementary school student style pudding. I don't
Okay.
know the brands anymore, but
Oh, snack pack.
snack pack. We were eating those, and at one point we were just like putting it in our mouth and spitting it out and looking at each other, making faces. And Jason like laughed and like sprayed pudding everywhere, and we just bursted out laughing. And like the theater, like other
Was it-
people were getting pissed off. My mom was getting mad, and they were just like, "We're fucking assholes."
See, I'm not used to theaters now to where we were like one of like 10 people in the whole entire fucking theater. This was full, moderately full, like 40 other people, 100 other people. Like how much of an asshole?
There was enough people there, like 40, I would say. Like it was.
Okay, so that
it was light, but like enough
Light
people
for the
there for sure. And it was like the reason it's in the cheap theater is because it's been out for a while. The way the cheap, I don't know the way theaters work now, but there was like the major theater.
'Kay.
Shit is out immediately. It's there for if it's
yeah,
if
like
it's
a month.
if it's crushing, it's there for 3-4 months. But if it's just a typical
Holy
movie
shit,
a
really?
month, like I know it's like the highest grossing movie of all time
Avatar.
based on ticket sales. Titanic was in the theater for like felt like a fucking year. It was crazy.
Hmm.
But then they get downgraded to the
cheap.
cheap theater where it's like it's
Cinema-reel.
going to be on video in 2 weeks, but you can go watch it. And then if you went on Tuesday nights, it was like $1.
Yeah.
We'd
Okay.
so we would go and just get high and buy fucking candy and just watch movies that were like 3-4 months old or whatever. Like most people who had money or had wanted to see the movie had seen it.
Okay.
Sometimes we'd sneak into the cheap theater even, which is like, how broke are you?
Can't even
But we
afford.
found out that the door could be propped open. So we found out that there was like a door in the back, and it just wouldn't latch. Or it would, but you'd have to like put. I don't even know how the fuck we figured this out.
You go watch a movie, unhook it.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Or we knew that it was unhooked, so we just wouldn't pay for tickets at all. Eventually, it would just show up in the back and just walk in.
No one stopped you.
Yeah, and
Why are these 14-year-olds watching this R-rated movie?
dude, I went to this phase circa like 2016 where I would just go to the theaters by myself all the time and get drunk.
How the hell were you bringing shit with you?
Oh hell yeah, dude! I'd just smuggle in alcohol. I mean, I'd go with people sometimes too, but
a
like
flask, a whole 6-pack. Like how you get drunk?
just shooters and stuff. And
Okay.
one time I somehow snuck in. I don't even know how the fuck I did this, but I snuck in like a one of those like Budweiser Cheladas things.
Oh,
It's like a tall boy, and I remember just like having it. And then I looked over and someone else was drinking like a fucking Mickey's, and like we kind of looked at each other, and we're like, hell yeah, dude.
The balls. My
Yeah.
friends.
Dude, and I saw when did the first It come out? Like the remake? When was that? 2017 maybe?
Yeah, 16, 17, 18, yeah.
I was in the fucking theater, and it was packed because it was like day of. So like there
Okay.
was, and I was like 30 at the time, something like that. And I'm drinking, I'm just watching the movie, and like there was these two chicks, and I swear to God, they looked like they were in high school. They were like, if my lucky day, they would be 19. They looked younger. And they're
Sure.
like, "Are you sitting by yourself? That's so sad. Come and sit with us." And I was like, "Leave me alone, bitch." I got like,
Oh no!
yeah, I was just like, "Oh my God." I was like, if I was Chris D'Elia, like this would be a dream come true. But like, I'm drunk trying to watch the fucking movie. But it was like, it was almost like they embarrassed me. I felt embarrassed because they said, "That's so sad. Will you sit with us?" And I'm just like,
Peer
"You're gonna
pressure you.
smell the 99 banana shooters on my breath if I sit with you." Is what's gonna
Oh,
happen.
99 bananas.
That was my jam.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
How much were you going through at your peak? Like a whole bottle a day?
I feel like I'm being interviewed by Dr. Phil right now.
Yeah, no, I just want to make sure you're doing okay, buddy.
I don't
here
drink.
For you.
I haven't drank in 5.5 years.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I quit January of 2020.
No, good for you.
Well, one time I had where was this? What was the room that Leo ran?
Wait, which one?
Peckerheads.
Peckerheads, okay.
Fucking Peckerheads. 2 years ago, maybe. I
Okay.
ordered a fucking what are they called? Topo Chico.
Okay. Non-alcoholic. Delicious.
Yeah, when you ask for a Topo Chico, that's fucking standard thing you get. I didn't say hard seltzer or whatever. Fuck, the dude gave me one that was like spiked Topo Chico, and I took like I'm talking like
Yeah.
I'm ready to go on stage. I'm like
Oh, no.
a gulp, and I'm like, what the fuck? And I went on stage and talked about it, and I'm like, I'm back, motherfuckers. Where's the cocaine? We're fucking doing this, and like I don't consider that drinking. I didn't catch any feeling from it at all, and it was just a one-time accident thing.
Oh, so that means you can drink again. You're cool. You made
Right.
it past.
I mean, I've thought about it because like I'm so fucking disciplined. Like I don't do shit.
Okay.
I microdose a little bit sometimes, but like I don't smoke weed. I don't do hard drugs. I don't drink at all. So I'm just like I'm so disciplined. Like why not just drink as like an event thing? Like once in a while. I told this
That's
to
what I'm down
Corey.
to.
I
Okay.
told this to Corey. I was like, if the Vikings go to the Super Bowl,
There you go.
I'll drink. And it was in Louisiana this year, and the Vikings went like fucking 14-3. And I was like, I'll make one fucking exception to where if the Vikings make it to the Super Bowl, we'll go to New Orleans and I'll drink with you. But like and then I won't again. And they got fucking their doors
Destroyed.
blown off by the Rams. So I was like,
They heard you.
They heard me.
We're not gonna let them go fucking drink again.
Yeah. So I don't know. I probably won't ever drink again. I mean, when you've gone 5.5 years, that's a pretty big deal, and my life has improved dramatically. So I was like, why fuck with it? I've always said this too.
Sleep's
At
better.
least I have war stories.
Yeah, no, you actually drank. Like, I
Oh
didn't-
hell yeah!
like I was just getting
Wait,
mad that it was.
how old are you now?
37.
Okay, yeah, we're in the same league.
Yeah, but like you, when you were talking about DTs and shit like that, like
Yeah,
holy
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
shit, you
Yeah, you were there for the YouTube. I'm just like,
Yeah.
I don't respect you if you
have
become an alcoholic until you're 60, but I also don't respect you if you quit when you're 22. It's like, be a regular fucking person and waste your life till you're like 35, or die when you're 22 like a SoundCloud rapper. But this quitting before your life even starts shit is bullshit.
But why though? They're making a smart move at a young age. Like, you
Because
fucking,
I'm half kidding, honestly, but I just feel like that the best times to drink is like at least finish off your 20s. I mean, come on.
That's fair. That's fair. So you're saying fuck up, make some mistakes.
Yeah,
Get some
don't go too
stories.
long. I stopped at 33. You know, it's fine. You know, maybe when.
You got plenty of time to start back up. Don't you worry.
Oh God,
Plenty of
no.
time. I mean, I don't recommend it. I don't know. I sleep better now. Like I haven't drank seriously. In
Oh,
like
dude, that was
2-3
a
years.
superpower. Superpower is being able to sleep.
While you were drunk.
No, like I had to drink in order to fall asleep, and then once I
Oh.
quit drinking, it was so hard, and I became addicted to caffeine. I would drink like NyQuil to go to sleep, but once you get past that phase, it's like my superpower is just being able to lay down and go to sleep
Okay.
with no help.
How are you so energetic?
How am I so energetic?
I'm tired like all the time if I don't get like my 10
I
to
don't know,
12
like
hours.
going. You need 12 hours of sleep.
Sometimes I've had multiple 15, 16 hours.
That's why you're
sleeps.
fucking tired. You're sleeping too much.
How is that a thing? How do you sleep
It's a
too
thing.
much?
Chat. Whoever's still in here, there hasn't been a comment in like an hour, but I think if you sleep 10 to 12 hours, you're causing yourself to be more tired. I think I always quote Polly Walnuts. A man's got to get his 7. 7 is the fastball down the middle. 8 is fine, but I feel the same benefits from 7. 6 is okay. 7 is better. 8 is more than enough. I try to get 7 and leave it at that. I think that for the way I mean, honestly, working out too helps. Like working out gives you energy. Like you don't feel as because some people think, oh, you've been training at the gym, you're gonna be tired. It's like no, it actually gives you.
Yeah, but
more
like,
energy.
and then I don't know about you, like your circadian rhythm fucking locks in better. I feel like when you're working out,
For sure.
like to be able to fall asleep when you're tired at 11 or whatever. The hell.
So what you said you haven't drank in 2 or 3 years?
Yeah, it's been I've gone a few stretches without drinking, but this last one started when Tim was working on his.
Warner.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he was I don't know, was just like, "Hey buddy, I'll join you on this one." Like, fuck it. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Nothing. I was down to like maybe like twice a week, drinking 4 or 5 beers at the most.
Yeah. I feel like there's more strength in being able to be a very responsible drinker than just cutting it out outright entirely.
I would agree with that because you have to have self-control.
Exactly.
That a lot
I've
of
told that to
addicts
some
don't have.
people, and they disagree. But I'm just like, yeah, both takes feats of mental strength and all that. But if you're
It's your
able just to have
relationship with it.
2 and then not drink again for a month, or get hammered once and not get hammered again for 2 months, or just have one or 2 a couple times a week, and that's it, and not see red and go loco. That's real.
Agreed. I mean, to me, it's the secret is having a healthy relationship with it, understanding what it does to you and what your limits are, and then respecting those limits. A lot of people, to me, that's the missing link, anyways, for a lot of like addicts that I've talked to. Like it's that self-control that they quote don't have, or it's a disease, or however you want to phrase it. It doesn't matter, but I think you can. It's a skill you can develop if you think you don't have it. It just you may not want to do the things that are required to achieve. Just like anything in life, like people are like, oh, I could never do that. Like, you just don't really want to. Like, if you really wanted to, you'd figure it out. Like,
100%. Yeah.
it's like comedy or whatever. Like, you want to make money doing this or I don't know what your personal definition of success in comedy is, but you've continued to beat your head against that fucking wall. You are more likely to figure it out than the motherfuckers who are like, I'm going to be famous in 30 seconds.
Yeah, for sure. Dude, I remember too. To get back to being an alcoholic, I'd go through these phases of really cutting back. And one time I went like 6 months. I remember I went like the whole NFL season with no drinking. Back in like 2011 or something. Like I was right. I started comedy not drinking. Like my first times on stage, first several months no drinking. And then Mr. Head's legendary place where they would sell literally, this is 2011, so like, inflation and shit. But for $5, you would get a 20-ounce beer and a shot for $5. That's a banger of a deal.
That's really good.
So you have a few rounds of those, you're cooked.
Sure.
And then people are buying you drinks too, and you're there till 2 a.m. I used to perform not remembering my set. Like that's how crazy it got sometimes. Like I was like, oh, I kind of remember doing comedy last night.
Sure.
And then I remember one of the phases where I was trying to quit again. Game of Thrones was like the fucking hit show of the time.
Okay.
And they drank so much wine in this show. I'm not a wine drinker. I was like, wine is kind of healthy. It's classy.
There you go.
You
the
don't see people ruining their lives with wine,
yes, you do.
right? So I would just, and I even gave myself to drink, because people don't realize one bottle of wine is not shit. I mean, it's
like 6 beers.
It's less even. It's like 4. It's not a lot. If you just get a bottle of red wine, dude, it's not a lot. I think it's less than a 6-pack for sure. It's like 4 drinks, dude. Let's Google it.
So this is how I did. So I take the alcohol percentage times the number of ounces. So for a beer, like a Budweiser, it's a number of 60 times 6 beers. So that's 360. Okay, so your average alcohol content for wine is like what, 14%? Okay.
Well, this says a standard bottle of wine is equivalent to 5 standard 12-ounce beers. So
Perfect.
I mean, fair enough. We'll meet in the middle, or whatever we said. But yeah, 5 beers. When you're an alcoholic, that's still not that shit too.
No. You could drink 2, 3, 4 bottles. If at least.
But I would do this thing where I'm like, I'm just gonna drink 1 bottle of wine throughout the episode, and then maybe or I'd not even finish it even.
Sure.
By the time I almost finished that bottle, that fucking switch would go on.
Yep.
And I would go back to the store, and then I would buy vodka, and then buy like Heineken. I'd get like a tall can of Heineken, and I'd get like a pint of vodka. and then I would go on fucking Periscope and just drink that. So now,
okay.
so for the night, I would have like, what is a pint? Like 10 shots, I think, and then 12.
Yeah.
So it's like by the time I was done with the night, I had 17 drinks, and it's 3 in the morning, and I'm eating a burnt DiGiorno pizza. That's basically what would fucking happen several nights a week.
And were you working out then? You fucking get
No,
fat?
I'd go through phases of just then I'd start. I got up to like 200 pounds at one point,
Wait, how much
like-
you now?
like 160.
Holy shit!
Yeah,
you were fat.
I was like 210 at my highest. I'm probably like I fluctuate between like 155 and 165 usually. I don't have a scale anymore, so I haven't weighed myself. But
You still doing the like the keto shit or whatever?
dude, I do those fasts a lot.
Okay.
Where recently I went 10 days with no food, nothing.
Okay, what were you drinking though?
I was drinking just water and electrolyte packets, and
Okay.
but like I went hardcore this time because before I was drinking black coffee and chewing gum, I did nothing. I would have like a half a teaspoon or a tablespoon of salt, chase it with water, and then I would just drink these electrolyte packets mixed in my water bottle.
Okay.
And I went like 229 hours, which is
That's
slightly under 10 days.
so. And how did you feel by the end of that?
So I almost stopped a few days earlier because I was having back pain. I found out it was like my kidneys, and then I just pounded more water and it stopped. And then by like day 10, I felt like I could go another week. I felt like I
That's
hit.
wild.
Yeah, and then I had this Don't Tell comedy show that night, so I was just like, I want to break it before tonight, just so I'm just like, even though I had been doing comedy and feeling okay,
Right.
I just wanted to break because I was like, someone's gonna want to go out to eat, or I was taking a friend with me, and I was like, if they want to eat, I don't want to be weird because I do this thing where I was like, I don't drink alcohol and I don't eat. I'm the most useless fucking person to every establishment in the country right now.
All I do is drink water and stare at the sun for
Dude,
energy, man.
so like, yeah, people are just like, I tell them I don't drink, and then like they want to offer like food, and I'm just like, no, I'm not eating. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you, dude? Like, what are you doing? And then I have to like tip for water. But then I was like, if I'm going to the show tonight, it's a big deal show. I'm gonna break my fast in the morning, and then by tonight I'll be good to eat whatever.
Okay, so when you ate, did you feel like, whoa, shit, I gotta be careful, or
Hell yeah, dude, it's crazy. Like,
did you shit? Did you like what happened?
dude, you have to like clear your calendar for the whole fucking day. Like, it's just like
Okay.
from fucking 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. I'm gonna be shitting sporadically, so it's just like there's no reason to do anything. I remember I quit a gig one time, so there was like I think it was like NASCAR or something.
Okay.
Like 6-7 months ago, I did one of these fasts. I went like a week, and they offered like a good deal. Like if you want to tear down like equipment and
Okay.
like, because they had, I forget what it was called, Austin something, and it was like a 5-day like from like a Thursday to Sunday event where they had race cars and vendors and shit, and they were gonna pay me like, I think it was like $400 for just like an 8-hour day of tearing shit down. Not great, but $400 in a day, I'll take it. I was like, I'll do it, but I'm gonna break my fast before I do it. On the way there, I stopped at 4 gas stations to shit. By the 4th quick trip, I just ghosted them and turned back home and continued to shit at home. So I'm like, I'm not. And some of that's on me because I know I've read like Reddit forums, like you have to like ease your way back in.
Ideally, yeah.
But I've read people, they're like, you're going to shit a lot regardless. Like, it's not like I just, start chugging, a fucking milkshake or something. It's like, no, I try to eat like bone broth and then have a couple of eggs, have a bite of cheese, wait 2 hours, and then I have a little bit of food, and then either way I'm shitting. Like, it is what it is.
Okay. Why? I don't understand how if you hadn't eaten in a week or 10 days or whatever, like what's left to shit out? Like, or is it just
No,
water?
there's no. I don't shit for the whole time. So
What?
after you eat, you shit is what I'm saying.
Why would you not? Okay, whatever.
You don't shit. You shit maybe the first couple days, but I will go a legitimate like 8 consecutive days with no shitting. Because once you're like,
That's magical.
once you haven't eaten for 3 days,
Yeah.
there really isn't anything left to shit, or there's very little, and then your body isn't triggered to shit because you're not eating. So I will legitimately go like a full week with no shitting.
And then
I
you
piss way more though.
of course, because you're drinking a shitload of water. But
Yeah.
like, okay, when you start eating again, what are you shitting then? Is it just the leftover that didn't move, or
It's
is it
probably some of
water?
that, or it's what you're eating though, because like I mean, you don't just eat and immediately start pooping. It takes
it's
a couple
hours.
A couple hours. But yeah, you're like, I don't know if your body's in like hyper digestive mode or what it is, but like what you
I
just
gotcha.
ate will just be like going through you.
Okay, I'm asking because I had a buddy. He was bulimic for a stretch, and he called them water shits, and I've never.
Oh yeah,
experienced
that's
that.
what it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just water, just or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so why do you go fucking 10 days? The internet has a bunch of dumb fucking research on it. I think it's silly, but does it feel like it cleanses you or
Yes,
some shit?
from what I've read, it helps like repair damaged cells in your body, and maybe the studies are bullshit, but it's the only measurable thing that can actually slow the aging process. And there's studies or like provable people who've had like really bad illnesses or tumors, and they've done like there was a comic in Phoenix who did like I don't know, he did like a 3-week fast. He went fucking nuts, like 21 days, and his tumor shrunk by like 90%.
So okay,
I also like the mental challenge of it too. Like as dumb as that sounds,
no, 'cause it is a mental
overcoming
challenge.
it is fun. Like I don't know what it is. Like and I thought at first it was gonna fuck up my comedy, but there was certain nights. I remember one night at Anderson Mill.
Crystal clear thinking.
One night, because I've been doing these. At first, I was like, I'm gonna do it twice a year. I've been doing it like once every 3 months now, so it's turning into like a 5 times a year thing.
Okay.
And what did I say? I said something like, I'm so fucking hungry, I could eat out Mike Hudak's ass right now. And I just ranted about what an idiot I was for doing it, and then I just gave him some jokes and fucking crushed. And I was like, I'm on like day 7 of no food, and I'm thinking sharp. Like literally, you start to feel some more mental clarity after a certain point.
That makes sense. 'Cause, yeah, you're not being weighed down by digestion.
And it is harder to sleep. One of the nights was a nightmare. This past one, I didn't sleep until 6:30 a.m. because I'm like, I'm not going to take sleeping pills. I'm not going to take NyQuil. I'm not.
Good.
And I just tried, tossed and turned. I just go back on my phone like a fucking dummy. And before I knew it, it was 6:30 a.m. And the sun was up, and I hadn't slept, and I ended up sleeping till like noon or something. But it was just like, that was stupid.
And it was just because you were hungry the whole time?
Not even, I wasn't even hungry. It's just like your body, it's hard to sleep when I fast for some reason.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And then, so how do you feel when you return do you feel better than you did before you
Yo,
started?
resident, what up? Yeah, I would say so. I never really feel like shit anyway, though, so it's just kind of like back to normal, I guess. But
and then you go back to like a low carb.
Yeah, I
diet
eat a lot of fruit though, so like that's carbs.
I got
you.
Keto, I guess. Keto.
Yeah, it's keto, but fruit is not keto.
You doing paleo?
Kinda. I eat a lot of meat and fruit a lot, and eggs. And
Ooh, you can afford eggs?
water.
You fancy fuckhead.
Dude, not really. I eat the Walmart ones that are probably gonna kill me.
Cancer-ridden.
I don't think they're that bad.
They're not eggs. They're just tumors.
Oh my god! I used to have chickens, so I missed that shit. In Arizona, I had chickens, and we'd get like 13 eggs a day, and they were so much tastier and better.
Oh, dude.
Dude, they were and I named all the chickens too. I was like, I used to go on Periscope like teriyaki chicken, fucking General Tao. Like I had names.
Buffalo.
Yeah, and then a fucking coyote like killed them all. Like got in the backyard and like murdered them.
Jesus Christ.
It looked insane. There was like pieces of chicken everywhere. I was like, oh my god. I called one of them orange chicken too.
Of course. Wait, so why didn't you go back to the chickens then? Sounds like you didn't do chickens.
I mean, they were mostly my sister's chickens,
Oh.
but I would feed them every day, and I would get eggs and eat the eggs and shit. And we were living together, and it was just like chickens. But once you have 7 chickens get destroyed by a wild animal, it's just like it's kind of run its course. Like I'm not gonna go find them again. It's
no
whatever.
more try again.
Well, I think we got a couple more at one point. My sister's German Shepherd killed one day too.
Dude, badass. Let me guess.
You can't even be like mad at it. Like when like a human kills an animal, like
yeah, it's intentional.
it's sad. But like I watch the crazy. Do you ever watch Nature is Metal?
No.
Oh my god! Or Nature is hardcore. There's a couple of Instagrams that just show the most brutal, like nature animal on animal maulings and killings, and it fights and just. I'm able to watch it. Sometimes it makes me sad though. I saw one where there was like a mother hippo just eating its child, and it was just like chewing it up, and I'm like, what in God's name am I watching right now?
It's a bad kid. You gotta get rid of the
Yeah.
bloodline. We need to bring that to
Yeah.
humans.
Oh my God, coyotes give dogs ideas. I've seen that happen. Oh, we got resident here. So before we end this, we got to talk the major debate in the United States of America right now: the
Okay.
gorilla versus 100 dudes. I'm sure you've heard about this
Yeah,
phenomenon.
yeah.
100 like the dumb
Which one?
variable.
It's the gorilla.
The gorilla's not gonna win if it's just like
What? No,
no,
gorilla's
it's
totally
not. Hell
What?
no.
It's 100 dudes.
100 dudes is gonna beat one fucking gorilla.
Yeah, have you seen a gorilla?
Yes, dude. I've been doing my fucking research. I've been watching Rogan videos. Now my YouTube algorithm is nothing but not just like it's like gorilla documentaries. I watched one today. Like, what would happen if silverbacks were moved to the Amazon rainforest? How would they sustain their living? How would they adapt to the humidity?
Okay.
And just gorillas versus grizzly bears, gorillas versus fucking Manny Pacquiao. Like, I've seen it all. 100 healthy, like gym. I'm not talking about soy boy fucking liberals. I'm talking about like guys who work out all the fucking time. They're gonna at some point 60 might die, but they're gonna kill the fucking gorilla. It's just too much.
That's the question.
It's like saying you could kill like it'd be equivalent to saying that you could kill 100 like 10-year-olds, all coming at you at the same time, or 12-year-olds.
I could though. That's the thing. Like, bring it on, man. No, fucking okay.
At some point, someone's gonna get behind. There's like something's gonna happen.
the question isn't
Yo,
100 healthy, strong dudes. It's just 100 dudes. So I'm picturing dudes like me. Shit, even dudes like you. You're on the upper end of fucking. Actually, you're probably way beyond me. Now I'm thinking about it. But like, I don't know, dudes like me. I'll just say 100 dudes like me versus one gorilla. You still think like we'd have to rush him? Is basically the
yeah,
the
because he's
tactic.
not because
So
when
40 of us.
when
are
he's slamming like
screwed.
3 of your heads together, there's gonna be 6 of you on top of him, and he's gonna get tired. They don't have just endless energy.
But he's. You're probably right because it's a numbers game.
That's where I'm at with it. Also,
That's yeah.
I saw this really sad video years ago. There was a debate because this is not a new thing. The debates of gorilla versus people, or
Sure.
because Mike Tyson started it when he wanted to fight a gorilla when he was like on cocaine.
He could probably take the gorilla.
Probably. So there was this like I don't know if it was a zoo, but it was in China or some shit,
Okay.
and it was a fucking tiger versus a bear. And a lot of people
the
don't realize tigers are like the outside of ligers, tigers are like the biggest cat. Like they're significantly bigger than even lions. They're fucking massive.
Okay.
But a bear is gonna just But here's the thing: it was a black bear that looked very young, like almost a baby. So it was like a 300-pound bear.
And the bear still.
The bear got fucking mollywopped, bro. It was sad to watch. The tiger was beating the fuck out of the bear, and the bear was almost just trying to get away, and the bear would fuck up the tiger a little bit, but I don't know if either died. The bear took like 90% of the damage and was just its face was all clawed up,
Oh, man.
and it was trying to run away from it. I was legitimately depressed watching it. I was like, this is like a young bear being mauled by a fucking tiger inside of like a
Yeah.
cage the size of this apartment,
It's
like
bull-
this front room.
Oh Jesus! Yeah. That's
Yeah, it was
fucking- that's not
crazy,
fair.
dude. If it was like a fucking, full-grown grizzly, it would have fucking
That's what I'm talking.
it would have
about.
murdered the tiger. It would have taken some damage, but
Okay, how about 100 dudes versus one grizzly bear? I still think the bear.
oh, the bear's gonna fucking win. The bear's gonna.
Oh,
fucking
that one's
win.
easy to
Dude,
answer.
if you're talking like a
They're
polar
gonna
bear,
get tired eventually, dude. I don't know.
no, not a fucking a bear would kill 10 gorillas or 5 gorillas. I think
You think?
5. That should be the new thing. 5 gorillas versus one Kodiak, though. I'm not talking about like fucking Beluga the bear or fucking Yogi. I'm talking like a 1,200-pound, like
Yes.
11-foot tall legend of a bear versus 5 gorillas. Who's winning?
The bear. I don't know. I would pick the
That
bear.
would be crazy.
That would be 100%. Wait a minute. Polar bears are even not as
Polar
deadly?
bears are the biggest, and they're
I
they're
thought they're the deadliest. of all the
because they
bears.
don't have plants where they're from, so they just eat fucking meat.
Protein. Yeah.
So they're gonna bite your fucking head off.
there we go.
A lot of bears will just like fuck around and just eat like a fucking tree or some shit, or like plants or whatever.
honey, man. They eat honey. It's
Right, and
delicious.
I know they eat like animals and shit.
And
Teamwork
humans.
makes humans superior. I'm telling you, dude.
Well, okay. If you threw enough people at the gorilla or the bear or what, yeah, you're right. Fine.
Yeah, I mean, if it's 200 Jason Statham's versus a bear, they're gonna
humans are gonna win,
eventually.
but there's gonna be some collateral damage. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah.
Do you know anything about bears and how their skin is designed to basically be like impenetrable and like?
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, a little bit. Also, you need like a legitimate like fucking high-powered rifle to take out a bear. Like even if you have like a Magnum or 357, unless you get lucky enough to like unload right into the front of its skull, if it's
Even
coming
then-
at if
even
it's
then.
coming at you from a distance, you're fucked.
No, there's a video I saw of a mother bear trying to protect her cubs. Charges the guy with he had a 12 gauge shotgun, fires it like within maybe 10 feet away from her, whatever. She just gets back up and fucking walks away, but like she gets knocked out. She doesn't get hurt.
Yeah,
She's not
yeah,
whining. There's no bears are fucking tanks. They're
Yeah.
nature's tank.
Dude, when I was like 12 years old, Mount Lemon in Tucson, Arizona, shout out to the Tucson listeners. They ended up removing all the bears from the mountain. You know they do shit
How
like
do you remove?
it takes months, but they go around they go around via helicopter with a team of people on the ground and tranquilize them one by one, and 6 months later, no more bears. Because someone got
Wow.
killed, and then like a child had their face bitten by a bear and lived, but like insanely disfigured for life. Like it was like
Right.
one of the biggest things on the news in like 97, 98 when I was in Arizona. So me
Wow.
and my dad, before they removed the bears, we weren't even like staying overnight. My dad was like, he was just like, let's just go to the mountains and like let's set up a tent, because like when in Rome, we got to be in a tent. We can't just sit outside. So we didn't stay the night, but we just set up a tent and we're laying in the tent. And my dad used to always fuck with me, like, oh, you see it? There's a bear. Oh my god. He
Yeah.
starts saying, there's a bear, and I'm just like, shut up. No, there's not. And he's like, yes, there is. And he gets like pissed off at me and like grabs me, and I'm like, I still don't really believe him. We run out to his truck. I don't even know how the fuck he saw this thing. Like, it took like 30 seconds. Like a full-grown black bear, like fucking huge, comes walking up all waltzy and slow and starts rubbing its back like a cat to a table against the tent. Fucking breaks the tent. Like one of the sticks like caves in, broke the fucking tent. We sit
Holy
there
shit.
for like 10 more minutes and then go back out. My dad's all hyped up about it, like how huge it was, and shows that it broke the tent. Like it was
Right.
fucking exciting. But I was like, we were in the tent 30 seconds earlier. We would have died, dude. Like,
Yeah, no, what bear? You just make a loud noise. Hit him in his nose. That's what you do.
oh
Just hit
my
him in the nose.
god.
And he goes, ow, I don't like that. And he runs away. You'll be
Dude.
fine. You'll be fine, dude. No, bears are fine. They're pussies. They're really,
oh
honestly.
my
They
god.
eat honey? What kind of bitch eats honey?
Fucking Yogi and what's another pussy bear? Fucking Teddy Ruxpin. Remember Teddy
Ah,
Ruxpin?
yeah, a little doll thing or whatever.
Yeah, where you'd put like a cassette in its stomach, and then it would like eyes would move and its mouth would move, and it would say that we used to just put like Michael Jackson in there.
Oh, it would actually
Oh,
mouth to
yeah,
Michael
it
Jackson?
could, because it was technically just a cassette player.
Right.
So you could put any cassette in there and just play fucking Michael Bolton or music or whatever, and it would still act like that it's saying it and shit. It was fucking rad.
Build-A-Bears. You ever fucked with Build-A-Bears?
Yes.
Okay,
Build-A-Bear, yeah.
So I have a quick one. At a buddy, they it was a group of I wasn't around, but there was a group of them. And so, have you ever made a Build-A-Bear, whatever?
Maybe once back in the day.
Okay,
Yeah.
so there's a woman or there's a person, and they help you out, and I'm like, okay, now we're gonna choose what kind of stuffing it has, and now we're gonna choose what kind of pants. And so at the end, they do a heart. And they're like, all right, rub your hands together. You know, they're doing this all like nice thing. And there's a bunch of these teenage kids. And then she's like, all right, because they bought the one where you can have like a little voice recording, have it say a message.
Yeah.
And so she's like, all right, they go in a room. It's quiet. Like, okay, go ahead. I'm going to let you guys do your thing, do your message, and then I'll come back and we'll put it back in the bear. And so they do it. They put it back. She's like, okay, let's find out what kind of message you guys have. And
Oh my
she presses
god.
it, and the bear goes, I'm a faggot bear. And then she goes, okay, guys, well, I'm going to hand you off to the girl, and you guys can pay and have a nice day. And
Is Build-A-Bear still a thing?
yeah.
Wow.
It's a Fortune 100 company or whatever.
Wow. Because I remember when it was new, I was in like high school. Like it was like I wasn't a kid when Build-A-Bear was a thing. It must have come out in like 02? Maybe later even. Let's
well,
see.
I was working in New York City in 2014. It was a huge thing. See, that makes sense.
I'm gonna say 03. Just that's my
As far as like when
final.
they got started, no, that would
Well,
make
when
sense.
it arrived in Arizona, I'm sure there's like some
Damn,
backstory.
is it really that old? Wow, I'm thinking it was like yeah, whatever.
Okay.
Yeah,
here,
'cause
here it
Arizo-
says 1997, but that's when it was founded in St. Louis. But when was it like fucking
It was the late 2000s when I remember it getting popular.
No, I was in like high school. 1999
was-
it started really
That was
2004 is when Build-A-Bear Workshops went public.
Okay, so that means
04. So I was right on pretty on the nose
yeah,
there.
because you fucking lived in it. By the way, your state's beautiful.
Arizona?
Gorgeous. Sedona.
It has
amazing.
mountains, dude. Like I miss the mountains. Like Austin kind of has nature, but it's so fucking flat.
Yeah, no.
Like I
Austin
used
sucks
to, dude.
for nature shit.
Fucking
Yeah, when I went on my road trip or whatever, fucking
Sedona is like
gorgeous.
that's you can't compare shit to Sedona. It's so like that's like it's a rehab resort. Like literally people who've destroyed their lives with like amphetamines go to Sedona to like stare at the fucking sunset and like reset themselves. Like Sedona is like yeah, it's literally like some of the biggest, most successful rehab clinics are in Sedona because of what it looks like. Even in Breaking Bad, Jesse Pinkman went to Sedona in the show.
You know what's funny? Bill Hicks went to Sedona. I'm
Yeah.
reading in a book. I
Yeah.
don't know.
But no, even like Tucson, just like mountains surround. It just looks like, you know, when you think of just like the Rocky Mountains or like
Yeah.
Utah, you see like the fucking Utah Jazz fucking mountain. Like that's how Tucson looks. And then in the winter, it snows at the mountains. You just see these beautiful fucking mountains. And Austin, what do you see? Just
flat.
Just flat. Is all of Texas flat like that?
Most of it. I mean, I think when you go more south, there's more mountainous because
Yeah.
it's close to Mexico. But I've never been south. The Valley, I've been told. Never been to the Valley.
I don't like South Texas that much. I mean, I've gone like Corpus Christi felt fucking pressing. Have you been to Corpus?
No, I heard it's kind of trash though.
It is. I don't know. And the shows sucked. I bombed, and the crowds were terrible. And it was just like,
That sucks.
I mean, the first show there was like 7 people in the crowd, and the second show they gave us 2 nights for some reason. It was a little bit better. Oh, that's the night I thought there was a ghost in the hotel.
Okay.
Yeah,
Do you believe in ghosts?
a little bit. Here's
Okay.
the thing. Here's what I will say about ghosts. Ghosts probably do exist, but I have questions because why is it that like there's no legitimate videos out there? There's very fucking few. You can scour YouTube for 6 months watching every upload, and at best you're like, I can't explain what that was,
Right.
but it's not just by default a ghost. But 90% are objectively fake, staged, or just clearly bullshit. So you'd
100%.
think in a world with smartphones, cameras, Blink doorbell cams, there'd just be an abundance of evidence. When there's Bigfoot levels of evidence, which means almost nothing. Everyone has a story, though. It was Omaha in 1997. We were driving down the Oregon Trail, and there was a guy standing next to it. It's like everyone has a fucking story. I kind of have a story. Like, I'm sleeping on the couch, and the comedian, shout out to Patrick Garrity. He's like this road comic who he calls it the never-ending tour.
Okay.
So he's been doing comedy for like 30 years or damn near, and he literally lives in his car but just stays at comedy condos or hotels or at friends' houses and just headlines and tours for like over 20 years now. That's been his thing. We're in this fucking whatever it was, Days Inn or some shit and he's sleeping on the bed and I'm sleeping on the couch, and it's like 3 a.m. and I wake up and I see like a silhouette of him like clearly there's a person standing, and there's a little bit, like the curtains at hotels, there's a little bit of like moonlight that's kind of putting a little bit of light in the room, and I can see the shape of someone standing there, and I'm staring at it. I'm just like, the fuck is Patrick standing up for at like 3 a.m? And then I look over and I can kind of see that he's still sleeping on the bed. And I look, person standing there, I look there, and I'm just like, what the fuck, dude?
Okay.
And I lean over and I'm like, I'm going to sleep. This is creeping me out. I look back, and here's why I think it might be fake, because every time I looked back, it was still there. So I'm like, maybe there's a chance that just the shadowing of the light going through is causing a reflection to where something in the room is making it look like there's a 6-foot man standing right there. But it gave me fucking chills, and it didn't go away, and then I went to sleep eventually, and I told him about it the next day, and he looked at me like I was a retard, and I was like, okay.
Why didn't you turn on the lights? That would instantly answered your question.
I don't know. I was half asleep, and I mean, I was
That's fair.
I was fully awake. Like, I mean,
Tired.
I was awake enough to where.
You don't think you were dreaming of them?
No, hell no, I wasn't dreaming. Like, I saw.
Okay,
Like,
okay.
I'm not saying it was. Even with that experience, I'm not saying for sure it was a ghost, though.
No, that's great. I'm glad you're skeptic, because most people who have ghost stories, in my opinion, are just want to be like believers. They want to believe this.
So, what do you think of this? So, I'm big in clearly with all the horror stuff. And it has a huge audience. Like the times that I've done, like when I used to do Ouija board streams.
Oh, dude, love Ouija boards.
Fucking people are in there praying for me, bro. Like, don't do it.
Let
You're
me
gonna
guess, they're Mexican?
you're gonna open up a hole.
Indian and shit.
Oh man, dude. And I would be. Here's what I would do: is I would light candles, and I would say, and I would Google how to summon a demon. And I would be like, I want to do everything that they say not to do to get something to fucking happen. And people would be
Beautiful.
like, don't fucking do it, no. And then I would just freak people out, like, did you hear that? Oh my God, did you hear it? And then I would like fart, and then just like, and they would be like, dude. And I did it on TikTok one time too, and there was like literally like 1,700 people were watching. Everyone's freaked out. So I was gonna do a podcast where I was gonna make it a weekly podcast where I was gonna get comedians to talk like we're talking now,
Yeah.
maybe make it ghost themed, and then we'd end it with trying to do a seance. 9 out of 10 comedians told me,
Perfect.
"Fuck you. I won't do that."
What?
Like,
I would love to do that.
dude, we should do it sometime because like most comics were afraid of it, and I'm just like,
Idiots.
What do you think Hereditary is gonna happen to you? Like, what do you think is gonna fucking happen? If something happens, it's a crazy story, but people think that you're gonna unlock like some demon that's gonna like fucking haunt you for the rest
Right.
of your life or something.
Well, Ali, this is why your comedy career isn't taken off, because you were fucking around with Ouija boards, and they're actually haunting your bank account.
we should
right
make
now.
a movie where some comic's career goes to shit because he summons some like demon and he's on stage and he's like, yeah, and then and he sees something out there in the crowd. He's like, freezes on stage. That might be a funny skit, actually.
I think you
Some-
just found a new idea.
Some comedian who just conjures up one of those like creep, like, you know, every horror film that you've seen
Yeah.
where like you see like a silhouette of Joe Biden standing in the back of a coffee shop, and you're like, who is that man right there? Like, no one else is here, and then you're freaked out. Like, but as you're on stage crushing, and then you see some demon. You see the old man from Poltergeist 2 standing in the middle of the crowd pointing at you like this. And you bomb your whole set, and then no one books you anymore because you're the fucking weirdo that had the meltdown at the Laugh Factory or whatever.
Beautiful.
That would be great.
Do you have any masks or whatever? Creature masks?
I mean, I got that.
Just that one?
Freddy Krueger.
That could work.
I have a couple of things.
That could work. Point is, you could film it on the cheap.
Oh, yeah, it could be a skit. Wait, what else was I going to say, though, about the...
There's a Ouija board. No one would do it. They're all homos.
Yeah, because I have the Ouija board. No one. Oh, Corey had a great fucking point, and I kind of stole it from him and did it as like a bit for a minute. Like, so he said, because in a regular conversation, he's like, "Yeah, I believe in ghosts. Yeah, I believe in Ouija boards, but not from the fucking Parker Brothers, where you can buy it at Toys R Us." He's like,
Right.
yeah, if we went, and like, this is where I took it, because he said that. So I was like, if we went to a fucking witch doctor in the middle of like the swamps of Louisiana, and he pulled out something made out of chicken bones and human blood, yeah, that one might work. But we're gonna go to fucking Walgreens and buy a Ouija board. Fuck you, dude. Like,
Milton Bradley has the
Yeah.
corner on. Yeah, I don't know of any other person that makes Ouija boards aside from them.
no, it's like the Parker Brothers, and I think they're out of like Salem, Massachusetts or whatever.
Salem. Oh, it's real. They really do make real ones.
They do. They make them. They literally are. They make the major released ones that are available everywhere.
But I'm saying it's from Salem. That's where all the witches were, man.
Right. That's to make the lure of that it's real. Like,
Don't fuck with them, dude. You're making
yeah,
fun
like
of 'em.
fucking Josh Castro. Shout out to him. He's he's Mexican. He's a Catholic. He won't fuck with that shit. Like, he's
yeah. No,
he loves horror, and like we've gone to some like places on the road where we like that someone that said a person died here. We've walking through cemeteries and shit. But when it comes down to like, let's do a seance or something, he's like, fuck you, bro. And it's fine. That's how he was raised. I respect it, but
yeah.
I
got you.
feel like,
I mean, I can go get a chicken for us. You want to go do something? Break a neck?
dude, if you
Blood?
like, I want to live stream. I want to do legitimate like ghost
Voodoo?
hunting shit. But I hate the app. So people are like, download like the Death app or get some stupid Simon Says machine that makes sounds. I'm just like, how is a person that died in like the 1800s gonna know how to communicate through a fucking iPhone app? Like,
Ooh,
you
good
know,
point.
it's stupid.
I didn't realize there was apps where you could communicate with dead.
There's a bunch, dude. Also, I mean, this is like another joke I tried it years ago. It's just like, why? First off, I mean, why shouldn't ghosts be naked? Are there clothes? Are there clothes paranormal too? And it's always like old fucking clothes too. It's just like downtown Chicago should have like fucking transparent like FUBU jerseys and shit. Like a dude wearing a Derrick Rose jersey haunting you, and he has the new Jordans that aren't even released yet, so you're not even scared. You're like, how the fuck did he get those joints? Like,
That is spooky.
yeah, it's just like he got the new Space Jams. This is fucking wild.
See, okay, my understanding of the explanation of it is it's whatever energy. So, and they're stuck in that place, so they kind of take those like the fucking
Right.
the energy.
And
the
none
shit
of it
like
is like a rational thing anyway. And like I said, I'm open to there being ghosts, and to like the world is weird and magical, and I'll listen to anything for the most part. But
of course.
there's a lot of shit that doesn't make any sense. Like,
Aliens though, that makes sense, right?
aliens has to make sense. Like,
Right? Why does it have to?
because I think it's ridiculous to think that we're the only things alive, like a human, like as far as like just life on Earth, and that's it. There's too much evidence and too many things. I'm not talking about some dipshit who, like, in 1996 recorded on his camcorder some floating thing that you can't explain. I'm just saying, just from a point of just the beginning of time to now, with all the science and hell, even like biblical related things and stories and stuff, I feel
Right.
like that there just has to be fucking aliens or some other life forms.
All right, you are a regular, rational thinking person.
Yeah, some people would just say, like, no, there isn't. Nuh-uh. It's
Yeah.
just me and my diabetic Republican aunt, and like no other species exist. Like, that's it.
Just us. Okay, cool, buddy. Ghosts? You believe in ghosts? Oh, you do believe in ghosts. Okay, I got you. Later.
Wait, what is this dude saying? You summoned the set bombing demon. You guys ever look up water witching for like when they drill for water wells?
Oh, the sticks or whatever?
Maybe. I don't know what that is. It's how they find aquifers. It's very Ouija board-ish.
It's very low. Yeah, this shit. Where they hold this two sticks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Or they'll
Dude,
fucking.
I'm all. You know what I
wanna
want to
do this
do?
shit.
I want to do. So this is complicated, and it's very fucking dangerous and probably idiotic on some level. Urban exploration. Have you seen this?
Oh, I love doing that.
Yeah, but here's the thing. It's kind of illegal depending on
Oh,
the
it's
properties you're on.
Very illegal.
So, but some people blow up. You look at their YouTube channel, fucking 1 million followers, 202,000 followers, and they're going to places. And can't they track you down and be like, you were at some like fucking city-owned private property, and you're literally like underground walking through there, like live streaming it? How's there a way to do that without getting in trouble?
Don't cause a ruckus and get out before they find you.
But then you post it, though, and then you have a video that has 2 million views of you committing a crime, technically.
So, okay, my understanding is that, yeah, they need to catch you or you need to cause some sort of damage. Proof of you doing it isn't like, you know what I mean? The idea is trespassing. It's not after the fact. Like, okay, there was a guy that for YouTube views crashed a plane. He went to jail.
Like the dude who drove his car into the McDonald's, which was fake, by the way, but there was a guy who went fucking mega viral on YouTube, driving a car at like 80 miles an hour into a McDonald's and
Holy
flipping
shit.
it over.
Holy
and then
shit.
getting like ankle lock and then cutting it off and then being on the run, but then they found that it was fake. Very brilliant, entertaining thing.
Sure.
Yeah, it's fucking like kudos to that dude. He killed it. But anyway, a guy really crashed a plane.
He really crashed a plane, but and he went back later to try to like clean up and stuff like that and lied.
Oh God.
But that's what got him in trouble is the fact that he fucking left damage. It wasn't. I don't know. Whatever. So the point is, urban exploration. Yes, if you get caught, sucks.
So
but
I see a
still
few
get
things
caught.
that people do, which I think they're fucking crazy. So they go into these like abandoned ass, like I'm talking like an old hospital or an old
Yeah.
school.
Oh, I love those.
Brilliant. But here's a couple of factors.
'Kay.
I'm gonna like buy special shoes that you can't like, 'cause you might walk on some shit. You could fuck your feet up, so you just don't want to wear like regular shoes.
Oh, you're saying like needles and shit?
Yes. So there's shoes that you can buy relatively cheap on Amazon, like real durable boot type shoes. Wear a fucking mask. And you know me, like I was like getting in trouble for like not wearing masks during COVID. Like I'm not that guy, believe me.
Right,
But when
right.
you're walking around a building from 1971 that has like weird like crumbling insulation, drywall, fucking mold, asbestos. And I remember this dude is walking around like, oh, you can smell the black mold. And I'm like, you should have a fucking respirator on. So wear some, even if it's just like the construction ones or whatever, the whatevers.
Yeah.
Wear a couple of those and then
nice.
bring a fucking gun for Christ's sake. I'm sorry. I'm not walking around these properties. There's been people who've been killed. There was a
Oh,
guy.
wow.
There was a guy on Periscope. His name was Michael something. I don't know if any of the listeners will remember him. He got shot and killed, and he was a fucking he was. I don't want to say he was famous, but he had tens of thousands of followers where he would go to abandoned churches, and he was stabbed before, shot prior to this, and then got shot and killed at like a motel in Alabama.
Holy
just
shit.
walking around like, I'm sorry, I'm coming with protection in more ways than one.
Oh wow, no. So
Because we're gonna fuck, obviously.
it's a shame he wasn't filming that live because that would have been a lot of.
I'm
views.
just saying, like, you make in a place where it's legal to have a weapon on you in case shit goes sideways,
I
and
agree.
to protect your breathing, because you don't want to breathe some weird. Like, what if a fucking light
Yeah.
falls and you get a puff of like powder ice thing,
right,
and then you
right.
cut 10 years off of your life, or now you have a real fucked up situation going on. So wear a mask, make sure your feet aren't going to get fucked up, and have some kind of protection. And I'm not talking about like a golf club in these fucking horror films. That could all 90% of horror films could be avoided if someone just had a fucking firearm, and they're like, no, I'm gonna live in a mansion and have a fucking golf club or a fucking rolling pin.
What was that noise? I don't know. Let me leave my gun here while I go investigate.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait a minute. So who was shooting at this guy? Like private property owners or
He
like
would-
homeless
yeah.
people?
I think one of them was a private property owner, shot him, and then I don't know if it was a
Jesus.
homeless dude or just some gangbanger or something, but the dude got shot and killed. Like, and he was like, he used to block me.
Wow.
He used to block me from his streams though, because I would go in.
Oh, talk shit.
Not even being mean. I'm just trying to be fun. I'm just trying to say funny shit. And he was like real religious, and like there was nothing comedy
Oh.
related about his shit. Like if I go urban exploration or go to cemeteries, we're gonna be saying crazy like.
Yeah,
Just being who we are.
Having
Like,
fun.
just I'm not gonna take it so serious that I'm gonna be like praying and like thinking that it's like a big deal. He was like real religious. So one time he was getting stung by bees. He was in like some. He came across like a hornet's nest or a bee, and I just kept making bee puns. I was like, be careful, and I was saying all this shit, and then everyone caught on, and he blocked me for that, and he blocked me for several things. But I was just like, dude, you're boring, bro. Like, have a sense of fucking humor.
Plus, if people were getting on it, you were helping him. Whatever. All right, it's dumb.
Right. All right. Well, we went crazy overboard here. I said an hour. We're at an hour 46. I think we nailed it, though. Let me know if you're really down to do some of that stuff, because I
100%.
really want to do
It's
it.
not a bullshit.
Me, you, and Corey or whatever, we can put together a crew and figure it out. Because that shit is, not only is it fun, people love it. And I've been watching online. There's some people that are good. I'm not going to act like, oh, I would do it better than everyone.
Of course.
But most people are boring as fuck. They have no personality. They say not like, it's just like,
Right.
and a lot of people are young too. So it almost makes you feel like
Oh, interesting.
the most popular YouTubes for people that go to like abandoned homes, they're all like fucking like 18 to like 24. They're very fucking young. There's some people in their 40s, and there were these two dudes. I forget their names. They were in their 30s. They made me laugh. They were actually at first I was like, oh yeah, you're funny. And then I was actually laughing. I was like, oh, these dudes are fucking funny. Like they're legit. Because I was like, I've watched so many bad ones. I wasn't like, when I saw a good one, I was like,
Yeah.
oh sure. And then they were fucking great. But yeah, I want to add humor to it. It's cool. It's fun.
Agreed.
All right. Well, where can people find you?
Instagram at Michael Dragon Comedy. And then same thing for my YouTube. I'm working on getting videos and shit up for there.
Fuck
So,
yeah. All right, guys.
Thanks, man. It was fun.
Hell yeah. So until next time, kiddies, stay